Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special edition of the Wrestling Forum. This is the recap of the Elimination Chamber. Oh my goodness. Well, we know the road to WrestleMania was going to have a lot of twists and turns and everything else. But after what we witnessed here tonight, man, if you listen to some of the fans on the IWC, I think the road to WrestleMania literally ran off the tracks tonight. Holy cow, what a night. All right, so with that said, let's start off with our first match of the night. Well, there was a pre-show match which had some major implications. So what happened was, due to an injury, I guess during the week, Keith Lee was unable to fight tonight for the United States title. So what they did was they did a fatal four-way, and the winner we get to fight later in the evening for the U.S. title. It was John Morrison, Elias Mustafa Ali, and Ricochet. John Morrison won the match in 7 minutes and 10 seconds. We'll get to Morrison later on. Now we get into the actual fight card. So we started off with the men's, with the WWE Universal Championship Eliminator inside the Elimination Chamber. The winner will immediately get to fight Roman Reigns after. It was Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, King Corbin, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 34 minutes and 20 seconds, and the man that gets to fight Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, Daniel Bryan wins the chamber. His second Elimination Chamber victory in his career. He gets to fight Roman Reigns for the title. And consequently, the match was immediately following that. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Roman Reigns successfully defends the title in 1 minute and 32 via knockout. All right. First off, great story as it pertains to Daniel Bryan. He gets the chamber victory. That's a big moment for him. Even though he doesn't win the title and doesn't win the match later tonight, this is basically Roman Reigns manipulating the situation. He said it before anything else. I was not going to put my title on the line in the chamber, but I will put my title on the line at the event. So the winner of the chamber gets to fight me. And not later in the night, but immediately after the chamber's over. Okay, you just put yourselves in a screwy position. Now, number one, you basically stacked the deck on whoever got out of the chamber. Basically, and you know how grueling the Elimination Chambers are. This one was a pretty good chamber match, and when it was all said and done, the right man got over. I believe Daniel Bryan deserves the moment. For him to lose it like this is going to add more heat to Roman Reigns. This is going to add more fuel to the fire and more of the hate and the resentment and everything that you wanted it to see in a champion. You got it. Roman Reigns comes out like the scumbag heel that he is, basically picked the bones of the yes man. And yes, the yes movement is crying right now, saying you couldn't beat him with a fair fight. You had to wait and pick the freaking bones on him, you son of a bitch. Well, that's the way it went. That Roman was playing by his own set of rules. You ain't going to get it any other way. Too bad, so sad. Cry me a river is what Roman Reigns is telling all of the Yes movement right now. Roman Reigns successfully defends the title. He moves on, but there was also somebody else who came out, the Rated R superstar Edge, and Edge calls his shot. He goes after Roman. Roman, you are the one. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event of WrestleMania is now set. Roman Reigns puts the Universal title on the line against the winner of the 2021 Royal Rumble, the Rated R superstar Edge. SmackDown gets the main event of this year's WrestleMania. All right, a lot to dissect. Good chamber match. I'll give it 4 stars. Obviously, the match after is an NA, is a virtual squash. And then Edge calls out Roman and basically, emphatically, he called the shot. Roman Reigns is the man he's going to be facing at WrestleMania for the Universal title. The main event is now set. Anthony Florio, we got a lot to dissect. Daniel Bryan wins the chamber for the second time in his career. Roman Reigns picked the bones on him and destroys them in 90 seconds. But more importantly, we have our main event for the biggest event of the year, WrestleMania. Edge, Roman, the Universal title on the line.
Are you excited, MF? I am. Let me tell you that right now. Spear versus spear. Let's get that out of the way. Whose spear is better? The original Edge or the new king of the spear, Roman Reigns? I can't wait to find out. Get me to Tampa now. That's all I can say on that. I can't wait. All right. Now, as far as the business at hand is concerned, chamber match, I will give this about 4 to 4.25 stars. Daniel Bryan, I mean, what can you say about him? I mean, what a performance by him. I mean, he started the match with Cesaro, and he goes the distance. That's a little precursor for things to come. That's all there is to say on that. So, let's see. The total time was 34 minutes and 20 seconds for the Elimination Chamber matchup. Cesaro eliminating King Corbin at 17:45. Kevin Owens eliminated Sami Zayn at 25:30. Jey Uso, or I should say Kevin Owens eliminated by Jey Uso in 26:50. And then Jey Uso eliminates Cesaro at 32:50 before Bryan wins at 34:20. So I will give this, like I said, 4 to 4.25 stars. This may not go down in history as the best chamber match of all time, but it could be a top 5 pick for a lot of fans. This match had great action, served several storylines, and allowed all 6 competitors to shine without anyone feeling left out. They limited the high-flying spots from the pods, and that helped make Uso's attempted splash at the end have a greater impact when he missed. Cesaro, Owens, and Uso would have all been acceptable choices to win after the performances they put on, but Bryan is the ultimate underdog. This storyline fit him better than anyone else. So 4 to 4.25 stars for that. Now, as far as the subsequent match that followed, Roman winning in 1 minute and 35 seconds. As a match, it was short and to the point. Nobody will say this was a main event caliber performance or put it up for match of the year. However, as a chapter in a story, this worked perfectly. Bryan looked valiant in defeat, and Reigns gets heat for being an opportunistic and dominant heel. It makes sense. It won't make everybody happy, but it works. Edge taking him down and making his official decision to challenge Reigns at WrestleMania was a great way to end this. But it might have made more sense to have this moment close out the show. But then again, after what we saw tonight, I guess there was another moment that I guess made more sense. I guess, but it's gonna have to be a no rating for that. So not much more to say here. Michael Bullock, Phenom, come on in. The chamber match gets 4 to 4.25 stars, 34 minutes and 20 seconds, and then Bryan and Roman gets only a minute 35.
Yeah, I'll give them the chamber match 4 to 4.25 stars. I mean, yeah, what can you say about Daniel Bryan? I mean, he literally went the distance. He started the chamber match and he ended it pitting Jey Uso. So yeah, and then basically, like you said, I mean, Roman Reigns being the dominant heel, the rotten son of a bitch that he is, picked the bones. I mean, he had his plan perfectly because he knew that, like you said, that whoever came out of this as the winner was going to be not 100%, was all spent, and he picked the bones. Even though Daniel Bryan tried to surprise him, Roman basically just annihilated him and said, "I'm the head of the table. I'm the tribal chief, and it's going to stay that way." Well, after the match, Mr. Tribal Chief, somebody had something to say about it, and that was the rated R superstar, Edge, as he has made his decision. It is official, folks. Edge and Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. It's going to be the Battle of the Spears, and I cannot wait to see whose spear is more efficient. Is it the original or the Tribal Chiefs? We're going to find out. So 4 to 4.25 on the chamber. The Universal title match was definitely an NA. So Dee Woodson, it is yours.
Yeah, from what it looked like tonight, though, it looks like Edge has the more, at least in this case, the more superior spear. But here we had Roman who just kept begging and begging and begging and begging and begging for Edge to give this decision. He gave it tonight, so way to go. Yeah, at least one of the two nights, this has got to be the main event. Raw's probably got the main event of the other night, so we'll see which one gets night one, which one gets night two. The chamber match, I'll give it 4 stars. It was all right. There was a lot of action and everything. Not entirely surprised on who won because Bryan did have some unfinished business with Roman and Jey, so it was good to see that. But yeah, Roman, that's pretty cheap. But then again, so was the stuff that happened after the main event. So yeah, not much more I'm going to add. It's yours, Fletch.
All right, and then we move on to the first non-chamber match of the evening, as it was Bobby Lashley putting the United States title on the line against John Morrison and Riddle in a triple threat. Winner of the bout in 8 minutes and 40 seconds. And new United States heavyweight champion Riddle. Riddle wins the title. Anthony Florio, history was made in the Thunderdome tonight as Riddle has become the United States champion at 840.
Wow. That I think I had this the other night. I think I did. I was not really sure, but yeah. Big moment for Riddle here. The biggest win of his career. His first major title since jumping to the main roster last summer. This is the kind of dominant performance Lashley has needed for a long time. He has been on a roll lately, but this is the best he has looked in a long time. It's a shame he couldn't have looked this good with a win. John Morrison and Riddle added some fun moments to the action, but they were outshined by the former champion in every way. The only good thing this can lead to is Lashley maybe chasing the WWE Championship moving forward. Riddle is a controversial superstar. Some people love his gimmick, and some people find him annoying. Time will tell if he can win over his critics with a run as the United States Heavyweight Champion. So I'm going to give this 2 3/4 to 3 stars for the effort. And congratulations, Riddle, as he is now the new United States Heavyweight Champion. So with that being said, Michael Bullock, I'm going to let you do what has been a staple of our Raw chats. You do this better than anybody.
Bro.
I was gonna set it up for you. I was gonna say, if you listen to this, close your eyes because you're gonna think it's originally him. Go ahead, Bullock. We have a new champion. You know what that means?
Bro. Yep. Riddle is the new champion, but I'll tell you right now, guys, you know Bobby Lashley is not a happy camper because he didn't even get pinned. He didn't even factor into the decision. I mean, it was Riddle who pinned John Morrison. So you know he's probably crying foul and that he wants his rematch. So we'll have to wait and see somewhere down the line. 2.5 to 3 is my rating for the match. So there's really nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it's yours, and you know Bobby Lashley is crying foul.
Oh yeah, he's not a happy camper. He's one of these guys that I guarantee throws a hissy fit and lets everyone know that he is not happy about it. The variable in this was, of course, Morrison, because nobody was expecting the substitute for Keith Lee when they went into this match. And then when that was announced, of course, you know, they had to last minute prepare for that. But, you know, yeah, Lashley did dominate most of the match, but in the end, yeah, we had the original bro that took the win. I'm hoping now we'll see a little bit more of the MMA side of Riddle. You know, whether they keep the comedy bit or not, I don't care. Just I want to see more of the MMA side of him in his matches than what we've been seeing. So yeah, I'll agree with the rating, and it's going to be your Sledge.
3 stars for me. Yeah, this was a solid fight. I cannot believe that just happened, but it did. Nothing more to say. Next up we had was a women's tag team title match, as it was Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler putting the titles on the line against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler successfully defends the title at 9 minutes and 35 seconds. Mike Bullock, it's yours. The champions remain the champions.
Yeah, and basically, it was they got a little assist from Reginald, who was trying to help, and basically Nia Jax took advantage of it, and yep, and like you said, I mean, this doesn't surprise me that the champions were going to remain the champions. So yeah, obviously now the question is, what's next for Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair? I mean, we all think it's going to lead to these two facing off at WrestleMania. The only question I have for you guys is, how are they going to incorporate all this? We'll have to wait and see somewhere down the line. So, 2.5 stars is my rating on the match. Dee Woodson, it is yours.
Yeah, about 2.5 stars. It was all right. I don't understand this whole thing with Reginald. You know, he's supposed to be with Carmella. supposedly has this fascination with Banks, and now he's costing her the match. And the only thing I can think of for why he would do that is he's trying to get back in good graces with Carmella. But it is what it is. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm I'm not surprised with the win for Nia and Shayna, but I'm looking to see who's going to come after those two next. But yeah, I think we're going to lead up to Sasha Banks and Belair facing each other at WrestleMania. So not much more I'm going to add. It's yours, Fletch.
Well, okay. The way I see it, it goes like this. They easily could have done anybody with this situation. Now, you know that on NXT, they got Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, but if you notice, they're guaranteed their title match, I think, coming up this Wednesday, or I believe it's in I know they're getting it soon. You got Lana and Naomi on Raw because they've been battling it out. And then, yeah, you had Sasha and Bianca Belair. And of all teams, they gave it to the SmackDown crew to get their first shot, and they let them go, and they let the champions go over. Now, you could have done a different type of stories, different ways to do it. I don't know if there's any logic to the storyline on this one. I mean, okay, I get it. Maybe because now this probably adds more fuel to the fire to Bianca and Sasha, where Bianca will probably choose Sasha to fight at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's title, which means for the first time ever, SmackDown might get the main events of WrestleMania. We don't know. Because we don't know how this is going to play out on night 1, night 2. So, all we know right now is Bianca still has a decision to make, but it looks like it is leaning towards SmackDown. So, we'll see how that plays out. For Shayna and Nia, yeah, you're thinking, well, wouldn't it have been a good time to drop the belt tonight? To set up their rivalry, to set up their eventual fight. But you still got one more pay-per-view. You still got Raws and SmackDowns, because obviously, like I said, Lana and Naomi deserve a moment because they had both got championship committee moments because they won their respective matches against the individual champions, and I believe there was a number one contenders that would grant them a title shot. Then you have Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai because they won the Dusty Classic, the Dusty Women's Classic, that guarantees them a title shot sometime down the line. But it looks like they're going to get theirs almost right away. So, I don't know. Because if you vanquish them, and here's the thing that I'm starting to get a little concerned about. If they successfully defend over Naomi and Lana, and they successfully defend over Dakota and Raquel, then what do? You literally back yourself into a corner here. What do you do at that point? I don't know. Now, I get it. The logic seems fine for tonight. I don't know if I would have pushed for Sasha versus Bianca tonight. Maybe down the line, unless Bianca makes her decision and says, I want the SmackDown Women's title. Now, if she does that, all bets off. Now you gotta set that up for WrestleMania. I don't know, guys. It was an okay fight. I'll give it 2.5. But Anthony, the booking doesn't seem logical right now.
Oh, yeah. Especially after what we saw at the end of the night. But we'll get into that in a minute. This, to me, was the worst fight of the night. I'm going to give this 2.5 stars. The match had some bright spots, but the ending was overbooked, and the storyline with Reginald makes absolutely, positively no sense. Does he actually want to help Sasha Banks, or is this all a ruse to help Carmella somehow? Bianca Belair did not make her decision at the end, so we will probably have to wait until the next Friday Night SmackDown to find out if she will challenge Sasha or not. This bout felt more like something we should have seen on a Friday Night SmackDown on Fox TV taping. Asuka defending her Raw Women's title against a mystery opponent in place of the newly pregnant Lacey Evans, I think would have been a better way to go. But, that's just me. But, it is what it is. So, 2.5 stars, default worst fight of the night. So, not much more to say except MF. All of us in just a moment are about to unleash the tiki torches and the pitchforks, and yours truly is about to be spitting kittens.
Oh, yeah. And I think we all have a reason why for that to happen. All right. So what happens next is it is the WWE Championship inside the Elimination Chamber. It was AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, Kofi Kingston, and the champion Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre wins the chamber in 31 minutes and 10 seconds. After the match was over, Bobby Lashley comes out and beats down Drew McIntyre, which led The Miz to cash in the Money in the Bank. The Miz wins the title. The Miz is the new WWE Champion. Didi Woodson. Oh my goodness. The road to WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw just got flipped upside down and inside out.
Yeah. I think just about everybody in this show knows how I feel about how this match and everything went. And I've already extended an invitation to Florio for him to take out The Miz. So I'll go find out where I put my checkered apron, and you can have it and do whatever you want to that SOB. But the two that are in the doghouse for me is AJ and Omos. Yeah, there is no rules in Elimination Chamber, but still, that was Kofi's time to come out, not AJ's. AJ stole a moment. He told Omos to let him out. You could hear him yelling at him to let him out. So he breaks the chamber door, lets him out right when Orton's eliminated, and it looks like, he's going to run away, but instead, right when Orton walks out, he sneaks in like the little scumbag he is, and he tries to put a pin on Kofi and Hardy. So yeah, I mean, in my book, they kicked Omos out, but I think they should have reprimanded AJ as well, just because of the fact that he instigated it. Because he's just as guilty for sitting there in the pod saying, "Hey, let me out, let me out, let me out," and then running around to the front to enter instead of entering through his pod like you're supposed to do. That's the way the match goes. You enter through the pod. You don't enter through the main door unless you're the very first two people in the match. So, In a way, yes, AJ cheated, but in another way, yes, it was. There's no rules, but still, in my opinion, AJ shouldn't have been allowed to get away with it, but he did. So it is what it is. Not much you can do about that. As for Lashley and Miz, from what I understand, I didn't see this actual part, but from what I understand, Miz supposedly talked with the Hurt Business to make an arrangement for, I guess, Lashley to come out. Either that or Lashley just, in my opinion, I think he came out to throw his 2-year-old temper tantrum on Drew McIntyre so that Miz could have an easy win, because we all know Miz is going to take any opportunity he can to take the cheap way out. That's just who he is. So, the match itself, I really enjoyed the match, except for that one little part with AJ that really just ticked me off. And, I'd love to take a couple of switches and just go after those two big old boys and just, tell them how the cow ate the cabbage. But, it is what it is. Not much you can do about that. But I will definitely help Florio take out the Miz, because this had to be probably one of the worst endings I've seen to a pay-per-view. But the match itself, I'm going to give the match 3.5 to 4 stars, because it was a very good match. I mean, the match was very good. The guys, went head toe to toe. The 4 of them flying off of a turnbuckle, that was awesome. So yeah, the match itself, great match. Very irked about AJ, very irked about Miz. So not much more I'm going to add. Take it, Fletch.
Yeah. All right. So there's a lot to uncover here. First off, at the point of the elimination was when I believe Kofi had gotten Randy Orton again. So Randy flips out, RKO's Jeff, RKO's Kofi, and basically you heard that AJ wanted out. I was thinking that he didn't want nothing to do with Orton, so he was going to try to get out anyway. Almost breaks the plexiglass, throws it to the side. AJ hops out. And then when he realizes that Orton's not doing anything, that he's not going after him, hey, I got an opportunity here. He hops into the ring, goes for the pin. Now, this is a gray area. And this is why I said this is a gray area. Where Didi's like, no, this is black and white. This is a clear-cut cheat. That should not have been allowed. In one way, I get it. But in another way, AJ never laid hands on anybody in the mat at that point. Never laid hands on any competitor. And went back in. Now, the only thing he did that's illegal, that he didn't come out at a proper time. But remember, Sheamus was going to be the last one out regardless. Everybody else had already gotten out. AJ would probably had to wait his 4 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever the time was going to be, before the time came out. So all AJ did was fearing for his own safety, thinking, oh crap, Orton's going to jump me or something. When he realized it ain't happening, screw the clock, let me get in, let me try to go after it. Now, obviously, no DQ. And if you want to talk about maybe an abuse of power by Adam Pearce by throwing Amos out, but no. almost deliberately broke the chamber open for AJ to get out. That is definitely, you could definitely call it destruction of property, whatever you want to call it, but almost definitely violated something because Adam Pearce was pissed, furious at Amos and told him, get the hell out. You're done. You know, what you did was messed up. I ain't having that. Get out. You're gone. So AJ hops in, tries to go for the pin, doesn't work, and then start the clock for Sheamus to come in. Once that got going, you saw how this played out. Great match, great battle. McIntyre wins, which was the right outcome, but why did it have to be AJ that knocked Sheamus out? I don't understand that logic. Why did it have to be AJ? Because of the fact that you saw how bad blood Sheamus and Drew were going at it. Why didn't you let them be the final two? Let them end this rivalry if you were going to do what you were going to do at the end. A, you don't resolve anything there. B, you just opened a Pandora's box that didn't need to be opened. So now what? Sheamus is going to go after AJ Styles for knocking him out of the chamber? What type of logical storybooking is this? 3, then you got Bobby Lashley coming out, jumping McIntyre. So you're thinking, oh, all right. So maybe this is the next challenger. Somebody that can set up Drew McIntyre to fight for the WWE title at Fastlane. All right, I get it. That's logical storybooking. I could go with that. No. Then you have The Miz come out, cashing in the Money in the Bank, and you let The Miz go over to win the title? Fans are furious right now. Fans are pissed. Nobody wants The Miz to be the champion. You absolutely just debacled the entire Money in the Bank. From when Otis had it, to The Miz getting it, to his cash in tonight, to screw up your Raw plans for WrestleMania? Oh, man. I'm so glad SmackDown got their main event. I'm so glad that SmackDown got their ducks in a row now. Now we got one more we got to worry about. If we can get the SmackDown Women's title set up for WrestleMania, SmackDown is set. We got our main events. Raw, you got yourself a problem. A major problem. And Anthony Florio, I know you're furious. You didn't want The Miz winning the belt. You didn't want him being the champion at all. Because of the fact of how shitty of a champion he was the first time around. Heading into WrestleMania 27, a lot of people consider it one of the worst main events in WrestleMania history. And now you got to recycle that crap again 10 years later? WWE, you absolutely screwed the pooch tonight, and then some. All right, Florio, I know you said the Tiki Torches are out. Go ahead, man. You want to go Bret Hart 1997? The floor is yours. Open fire.
All I can say is, Florio, as Stone Cold Steve Austin would say, unleash hell!
I know that's what you're all expecting, and now, oh boy, oh my God, woo. Okay, I'm gonna go a little. I'm gonna go off topic for just 1 second. There is only one person that I know who I totally believe is actually delighted about this. And MF, you know where I'm going with this. My sister Nicole. You know she's a diehard Miz fan from his days on The Real World on MTV. We don't really talk about it that much anymore. But if I ever informed her of this news, I guarantee you she'd be breaking out the smiley face emojis and the whole 9 yards, because she is a diehard Miz fan. Like I said, from his time on The Real World on MTV. So I know for a fact, out of every person in the known world, she's got to be the only one that's got to be beyond. She's breaking out the balloons and the party hats and doing the cartwheels, knowing that her boy The Miz is once again the WWE champion. The rest of us, nah. Sorry, but from a personal standpoint, I have every right to break out the tiki torches and the pitchforks and poo-poo all over this, just like I poo-pooed all over this past Friday night SmackDown alongside of Bullock in place of MF. I have every right to do that from a personal standpoint. But from a professional standpoint, I think there's only one logical reasoning why they did this. They want to give Drew McIntyre a crowning moment in front of paying fans. Last year, he didn't get that because that's when the whole COVID thing started. And what did we get? We ended up getting a 2-night WrestleMania in an empty performance center, with the exception of the Firefly Funhouse match and the Boneyard match. It was a completely empty performance center. When Drew won the title at 36, no one was there whatsoever. That was it. Why do you think they pulled this bull funky nonsense? They obviously want to put the title back on Drew at Mania, and they want to do it in front of a paying crowd at WrestleMania, because WrestleMania, we're gonna have fans. And from what a new report that surfaced today, a new dirt sheet I came across earlier today, saying that they want to get at least 30,000. The target number is 30,000 that they want to get for WrestleMania. And they want to give Drew another crowning moment, and they want to give it to him in front of fans. His second crowning moment was in the Thunderdome the week before Survivor Series, the go-home show, setting up that incredible match with Roman that stole the damn show. But, oh, man. Yeah, Bullock, you're exactly right. I mean, Sheamus would have made more sense, if you want to, heat up that feud. But now I read a review saying maybe Bobby Lashley, and we know the history of Lashley and McIntyre. I mean, going back to TNA, we know that history. But anywho, all kidding aside, my actual thoughts on this: the star power in this match was enough to sell it as the main event on its own. Over 24 world titles and dozens of other championships between these competitors made this one of the biggest Elimination Chamber matches of all time in terms of accolades. Once again, all 6 men looked great. Other than AJ almost missing a 450 splash, it's hard to think of a single thing that looked bad. Styles even managed to save it before the landing. The order of elimination seemed a little strange, but the ending was exactly what a lot of people predicted. McIntyre won with a gutsy performance. This was just as good as the SmackDown Chamber match. But I think the SmackDown one was a smidgen better, so I would probably give this about 3 3/4 to 4 stars for the effort. The post-match attack by Lashley looked like it was going to set up McIntyre's next feud, but it led to Miz cashing in. Love him or hate him, the A-lister has always worked hard, and he will be a great heel champion. And Raw will be interesting tomorrow night. Let's keep that in mind. But like I said, from a personal standpoint, I'm pissed off, and I have every damn right to be. I'm not happy about it whatsoever. Like I said, my sister Nicole, the only one who would be the only exception, because I know if she gets word of this, oh boy, she's going to be going crazy. But like I said, for me, and especially for Bullock. I mean, you thought we were angry the other night on that SmackDown review the other night. Oh, but from a professional standpoint, like I said, I think the only reason why they pulled this nonsense was because they want to give Drew a crowning moment in front of fans at WrestleMania, like he should have had a year ago. But it is what it is, and I know I can hear the Bautista and all that, deal with it, blah 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 blah. This is life, blah blah blah, whatever. But quite frankly, where's the angry Miz girl when you need her? Where is she? You can only imagine. But I'll tell you though, I thought we had dark days on Monday Night Raw, but that dark cloud just got even darker now. Taking the title off of our frontline soldier. Oh boy. You really think Miz is frontline soldier material? No. But like I said, that's personal. But as far as professional goes, let's think about this for a minute. And MF, you know this better than anybody. What about those epic promos he used to cut on Talking Smack when he would go after Daniel Bryan, or some of his other recent promo work? I mean, I know he deserves a lot of flack. I get it and everything else, but think about it. Was he one of the worst champions of all time? Absolutely. But he's not the worst. Jinder Mahal was far and away the worst WWE champion of all time. And I stand by that 100%. But right up there is Miz, though. I mean, but, so I read something about, one guy said, I don't see Miz going into Mania as champion. Maybe this could be a way to, get it to Lashley, because it was MVP. They had a backstage moment. MVP was chatting with Lashley. I mean, or should say with Miz, and something might have come out of that. But I wonder if MVP said, "Hey, Lashley will take care of Drew, and if we help you, you help us." Maybe we see that tomorrow night. Maybe a deal was in place, and maybe he said, "I gave you what you wanted. I helped you out. Now you help me out. You give me a title shot." And who knows? Maybe we could see Lashley and Miz tomorrow night. Maybe Lashley gets the belt, and then Drew comes out, and then we perhaps get a Drew and Lashley title match at Mania. I don't know. I just don't know. But regardless of what happens, regardless of who the champion is going into Mania, whether it's the Miz or Lashley or who have you, I possibly think that Drew will get the title back at Mania, give him the crowning moment in front of fans, and I think that's the only reason why they pulled this BS tonight.
But the thing is, Florio, my only problem with that is we've already seen this feud with the Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. We saw it early in the year. I mean, that's my only problem with that. I mean, it's complete repetitiveness as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. Agreed. And Monday Night Raw has been, and that's been our number one problem. That's why Raw has, put on toilet shows lately, because of the repetitiveness, and that's our biggest problem. And unfortunately, it's carried over into SmackDown with MF. I mean, we've seen some things that are same old, and look at the Billy K nonsense going on. That's as repetitiveness as it gets. But story for another night. But as we always say, it is what it is. We are not going to be happy about this whatsoever. No one more so than me, because I'm the Raw guy here. But if it means that maybe the ratings will get better and it'll make for more intriguing programming, then I'm for it. But I don't know. I just don't know. But I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, there are no words, really. Like Moro once said, there are no words. So if I could sum it up, I could say I'm sick to my stomach. And Bullock, like I said on Friday night on SmackDown, if I could just, I'm going to use that same word to describe this moment here tonight. Hoofa!
Couldn't have said it any better, Florio. I'm like, yeah, really, WWE? Really? I mean, this was a really a good Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And you had to freaking suck the life out of it by having the night end with The Miz as WWE Champion? You really think this man is WWE Champion material? Absolutely not. I mean, he had one of the worst runs as WWE Champion back in 2011. And you'd think you guys would have learned from that nonsense. But obviously, you guys haven't even learned from it for one damn second. Oh my gosh, this. And you know what? And you wonder why Monday Night Raw and also lately SmackDown have been crap in the bed lately because of nonsense like this. I mean, I understand where Florio's trying to go with this, but you could have done it with either Sheamus or maybe anybody else, but The Miz? No. No, no, no. I don't like it. I'm literally crying foul over this one. I don't like it. I hate it, and I can't believe what I'm about to say. I wouldn't mind Derek Ferrer going EDP 445 style on his rant on this, because you better believe he's gonna go off on this big time. 3.5 stars on the chamber match, but you had to take the sail out of the wind out of the sail by ending it like this. No, absolutely not. Just take it, Fletch. Take it. I can't.
I don't think anybody's going to want to do an overall review. I think a lot of people are pissed off on this panel right now, and I don't blame you.
Yeah, send it, Fletch, because I feel like I'm ready to go off even more.
Yeah, so I'm not even gonna let you guys even do an overall review. We're gonna park it here, call it a night, and just say, let's get the hell out of here. We can lick our wounds and sulk the souls of what just happened in the night, and come back firing tomorrow on Monday Night Raw, hopefully, but we'll see. Anthony gives it 7 out of 10. I'm in concur with him, saying it'll probably be 7 out of 10 for me as well. It was a good show. It was a good match. It was a good everything. It's just there was some very spotty moments tonight that really just took the life out of us and pissed us off. For one, they promised that Asuka was going to fight, put the Raw Women's title on the line. Never happened. We had it. They ended up putting the WWE Women's Tag Team titles instead. All right, fine, no problem. Then you had Roman winning as easy as he did after Daniel Bryan basically busted his butt in his chamber match. But we did get the payoff with Edge putting the title on the line, with Edge declaring that he's going to fight him at WrestleMania. So we did get a payoff there. Then you do what they did with the Elimination Chamber on the men's with Drew getting the big moment. All right, cool. Big win. Thinking that maybe Lashley's his next opponent, but no, you okie doke that by turning it around and helping Miz win the title. Oh, Monday Night Raw, get ready, boys. It's gonna be a crazy show next week. Tomorrow night. Nothing more to say. We're out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another edition of Ridiculously Raw. Anthony Floyo hosts it Monday Night Raw. Of course, his 205 Live and Impact Wrestling. And actually a pretty big Impact Wrestling because Vin Juice made their debut on Impact Wrestling. So we'll talk about it. 11 p.m. Eastern after Monday Night Raw goes off the air. For all of us here, good night now.